Hello, my name is Billy Bob Harris. Years ago, I was doing a report for a radio station here in Dallas. I guess it was about a week before Thanksgiving. They asked us to think about and be able to say something about what Thanksgiving means to us personally. Well, I was raised in a little town 100 miles north of Amarillo, right up top of the Panhandle, and town 800 people. We lived out in the country. I was an only child, but my mother and father and I would get to come in to Pee Paw's house on Thanksgiving. My Pee Paw said something to me back then that as the years go by is even more relevant now. And every year it goes by, it becomes more relevant. Here's what Thanksgiving means to me.
The most important task we undertake here at KVIL is to leave a mental picture in our listener's mind as we touch a certain emotion. Another of this year's most successful tasks was the KVIL Thanksgiving Special, a complement of holiday thoughts and treasures shared by some of the KVIL staff. Again, the hands-down winner and tear duct generator, Billy Bob Harris.
I am still learning about Thanksgiving. I grew up in the Panhandle of Texas, a little town named Grover. And if you have ever been in the Panhandle of Texas during November, December, January, February, I hope it was as a tourist because it gets very cold up there and the wind blows a lot. And it's not very entertaining. Let me see. It's not Highland Park, okay? I'm an only child, and my father's an only child. And we lived out in the country. And we had a very warm, loving family. On Thanksgiving, we would come in town, and that was a big deal. That was already after the picture show was closed. But Pee Paw and Pauline, my grandparents, lived in town. And when you open the door and you walk in, there is a feeling that always came over me. You were loved. And it's not that I wasn't loved at my house, but I mean, you were just, there was something, is in the air. My granddad smoked a pipe. There was always that smell in Pee Paw's house. Pauline everybody's grandma was the finest cook. I'm just like everybody else. But when you walk in that house, you smell that pipe. You smell all of that fresh baked food. And you just know that everything's going to be okay. There is a spirit that dwells there. You didn't have to pick up your clothes. You didn't have to clean up your room. You could play. You could go down to the basement. You'd hear Pee Paw's stories. You could eat all you want to. And it was love, and everything was fine. So my granddad was sitting there one day, and I said, Pee Paw, I'd just love to come down here to this house on Thanksgiving. I said, this is Thanksgiving. He said, what do you mean? I said, this is Thanksgiving. He said, no, Billy Bob, let me tell you. He said, Thanksgiving is not in the house. Thanksgiving is in the heart. Well, I thought, my granddad's 85 years old. And I thought, well, maybe he's losing his grip. I said, he doesn't know what he's, but Pee Paw's good. It's okay. And I said, I went over to my daddy. And I said, Daddy, Pee Paw said something, and I don't know what it means. And he said, well, what did he ask you? And I said, well, he asked me what Thanksgiving was. And I told him it was being in this house with this family. And people heard us talking, I guess. And he said, well, what I was explaining to you was that you don't have to be with your family to be with your family. And, of course, that totally went over my head. Okay, that was 25 years ago. I was 10, 12 years old. My granddad died about 8 years ago at the age of 95. I had a full, productive life. Pauline died about 6 years ago. And as you know, I lost my mom about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. So this particular Thanksgiving, I thought, I'm going to invite Daddy down here to Dallas. And we got a world of friends here. This is really my home now. But this was the first Thanksgiving I had never been home, but I knew it was better, or I felt it was better that my father didn't stay up there either. He and my mother had been married 48 years. So Daddy came down here, and we had some wonderful invitations. Julie's parents, the Don Williams family, had invited us over. The Dackel family, Floyd Dackel's mother and father, they invited us over. The Ridenhours, Mike Montgomery, the Bill Dobbs family. And we got to go to all these people's houses. I think it was the Williams family. We walked in. There was that feeling. There was love. There was warm, friendly faces. There was a glow about everybody. There was the smell of freshly baked food. And I think somebody lit a pipe. And I smelled that pipe. And it hit me right then. You don't have to be with your family to be with your family. And it's not in the house, it's in the heart.
Billy Bob, I hope the price of gold is up because you're worth your weight in it.